you guys like him with Lillard in Portland, right? I got one for you because we all know Dame Lillard is an amazing shooter. Let Ben run the point and put Dame at the 2.
I mean,
that's a great idea. That's a great idea because Ben Simmons would be the playmaker,
but
he'd be the playmaker, assist maker, and then Damian Lillard would be the scorer. So,
but the question would be, does Dame need the ball in his hand? What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of From the Sideline podcast. I'm Troy, and I'm back with my trusted co-host, Pete. How you doing today, Pete?
What's up, brother? How's everything, man?
Good, man. We want to start the show off by saying, I know. Last time I'm going to mention it. There was an actor that was supposed to be on. Something personal happened in his life. I'm not going to release that because that's his personal life. He did tell me. But we're going to try to get him on later on this month. When I'm finished recording with him, then I will let you guys know that the episode will be out instead of keep throwing you guys through loops because he is a busy person and then he's dealing with some personal now. But besides that, we want to thank you guys over on YouTube, over on Spotify. Apple Music's still coming, baby. We're still going to get that together. We just want to thank you guys. We appreciate it. We're trying to build a family here. We want to, we want to be able to, just build the culture over here, man. But without further ado, we're gonna kick it over to Pete with, Pete's message. What you got for us today, Pete?
What's up, man? I'm very excited about this opening message today, man. On this podcast, I have never spoken about this team. We don't cover a whole lot of college here and there. Once in a while, a little college football because it is, pretty big right now with the bowl games coming up and everything. But I got to switch it to last night, man. Give it up for Rutgers basketball. Rutgers Scarlet Knights representing for the state of New Jersey, okay? Rutgers had number 1 Purdue in their building last night. Ron Harper Jr., three-pointer, half court at the buzzer, knocks off number 1. Give it up for Rutgers basketball, okay? Rutgers basketball over the years has been terrible. And they got a head coach that came in about 6 years ago. When he came in, he started to slowly change the program around. And then a couple years ago when the pandemic started, Rutgers was finally going to make it to March Madness and the NCAA tournament. But because of the pandemic, the tournament got canceled and we couldn't see Rutgers perform. But that was okay because last season, Rutgers showed you it wasn't a fluke. Boom, they make the NCAA tournament. Unfortunately, they did lose in the first round to Houston, but it turned out they actually played Houston better than most teams did because if I remember correctly, I believe Houston either made it to the Elite 8 or almost even like the Final 4, and they were running through teams till they got there. Rutgers actually almost beat them in that first round. So Rutgers played them better than most of the teams that played them in the NCAA tournament. And then you go over to this season, Rutgers started off pretty good. They took a tough loss to Dayton. They got crushed by Illinois. But then number 1 comes into their building last night and Rutgers pulls off a huge historic win against number 1 ranked Purdue. That is freaking huge for Rutgers program. And now Seton Hall may be the little brother to Rutgers because they are not the State University of New Jersey. But at the same time, Seton Hall is looked at as having a better team than Rutgers because Seton Hall is actually ranked. And Seton Hall last night, got to mention him too. They pulled off a huge upset against number 7 Texas, winning by 4 points. Rutgers and Seton Hall on the same night, knocking off nationally ranked top 10 college teams is huge. And what makes it even more exciting is the fact that on Sunday, Rutgers and Seton Hall meet up against each other. So both teams are on a huge high, knocking off top 10 teams. They're going to be excited to play each other. That is must-see TV. I get it. Sunday's a big football day, understandably. But at 7:30 p.m. on Sunday night, I'm going to be flipping back and forth because I got to check out this Rutgers-Seton Hall game. Rutgers Seton Hall, I'm happy for y'all. I'm proud. I'm excited to see you guys in the NCAA tournament. There's still a lot of season left and a long way to go. So you got to keep getting off these wins to guarantee a spot in the tournament. Right now, Seton Hall looks a little bit better to make it because they're actually ranked right now. I believe they're ranked 24 in the country. But Rutgers, after beating number 1, you get a couple more wins, you could crack that top 25. And everybody knows you don't have to be in the top 25 to make it to the NCAA tournament. but obviously it helps. So Rutgers, great win last night. Heck of a job knocking off number 1 Purdue, thinking they're going to come into your building and beat you. Y'all wasn't having that, man. Great game, Rutgers. Way to go and way to represent for the state of New Jersey.
All right, and that's Pete's message. Now we're going to kick off our picks, man. We're going to get them quick because we got some guests in here. Yeah, so let's get it. Thursday game, which was yesterday. I had Minnesota.
Yeah, I had Minnesota too. Minnesota ought to be ashamed of themselves. You had a huge lead like that and you let them come back. The one thing that was crazy, Dalvin Cook is running the ball down their throat. Why would you, with a big lead, knowing that you just want to run clock and get to the end of the game, why all of a sudden now are you letting Kirk Cousins throw the ball like crazy? Made no sense. He throws interceptions and then you let Pittsburgh come right back into the game. Final play, if Pittsburgh makes that catch with the throw to Fryer, move the tight end, he makes that catch, boom, they go for 2-point conversion. Now you're sitting in overtime. So I don't understand the play calling at all from Minnesota. They still pulled the game out, but it shouldn't have been as close as it was because they had a real big lead.
Yeah, we got Baltimore and Cleveland kicking off Sunday. I'm taking Baltimore.
Yeah, we're taking Baltimore. Me and Troy do not give Baker Mayfield love on this show. I'm sorry. So yeah,
no Baker Mayfield love over here.
No, I'm sorry.
Better, do better with that team you got, and then you get some.
Yeah, exactly. You stack that running back. You stack that on offensive line. Come on, man. Stop. Let's go Baltimore. Even though Baltimore lost last week,
they're
come on,
struggling right now. They are struggling.
You got to get through Cleveland, Baltimore. Come on.
All right. Then we got Jacksonville, Tennessee. I'm going Tennessee.
You know, Jacksonville, it's tough to pick you guys any week of the season, even with a struggling Tennessee as of late, but Tennessee will get this win. Yeah, even without Derrick Henry, Tennessee still has more weapons and they have a pretty decent defense over there. So Jacksonville, if Trevor Lawrence is the answer, he's not the answer this season. So we got to go Tennessee.
Kansas City, Las Vegas. I'm going Kansas City.
We're going Kansas City.
Although
Las Vegas has shown they're able to put points on the board. It'd be nice to see a big time shootout over the last couple of seasons. Las Vegas has been able to get a win here and there against Kansas City when they play them. Obviously, Kansas City is the better team. Kansas City should win this game. They need to win this game. Don't have a letdown against Vegas, but I could see Vegas giving them some work. And yeah, we'll see what the outcome is on Monday when we talk about it.
Yeah. Next up, we got New Orleans versus the Jets. I can't bring myself to put a T next to the Jets. I got New Orleans.
Yeah. Yeah, the Jets won last week, man. It's tough there, man, because New Orleans is struggling. They don't know what they're doing at quarterback. Jets have the rookie quarterback, Zach Wilson, even though he played better last week. I mean, that's a 50-50 pick right now, as far as I'm concerned. But I'm going to go to New Orleans and Taysom Hill in his legs and think that he can get past the Jets probably in a close game.
All right, Dallas versus Washington. Now, I know we said Washington, this is going to be one of the toughest matchups to see. If they're about that life, man, and I'm taking Dallas. I'm taking Dallas.
Yeah, I want to take Dallas and Washington. This is another one. This is so close. Washington has been balling. They've actually been more of the consistent team than Dallas. They pulled out a real close win last week. Great game, field goal at the end.
They're on a 4-game winning streak too.
Yeah, they're on that 4-game winning streak, man. Listen, Dallas is supposed to be the better team. We picked Dallas earlier to win the division. They were supposed to run away with this division. But Washington, if you're the truth, not saying that we should take things away from you, especially when you're coming off a 4-game winning streak. But if you're the truth, you already know the biggest obstacle standing in front of you is the division leading Dallas Cowboys. If you're the truth, you have to win this game. And guess what? Maybe you got a little extra motivation to win this game, because I heard Mike McCarthy was over there running his mouth saying that Dallas is guaranteeing a win this week. So Washington, when you hear Mike McCarthy talking like that, and he don't even step on the field, he's a damn coach. Washington, stick it to them boys. Let them know you won the division last season for a reason, even though there was a little fugazi going on where the Giants could have won, but the Eagles rested their players against, I forgot who it was, Washington or something like that. So Washington was able to sneak in and win the division, even though they did play great against Tampa Bay in that first play, that wild card playoff game. But who cares about all that? It's a new season. And right now, technically, you are the defending champs of the NFC East. So Washington, if you want us to not write you off, and you want us to believe in that 4-game winning streak, make it a 5-game winning streak against the division leading Dallas Cowboys and let them know you want to win this division.
All right, we got Carolina versus Atlanta. I'm going Carolina, and if Carolina lose this game, I'm not putting the T next to them no more.
Yeah, you know what it is? I'm gonna go Carolina too, and I feel like we're picking Carolina for one reason. We're picking it for Cam Newton, and it's
Nah, I
like
just think the
Atlanta
Texans
sucks.
suck.
Atlanta sucks.
I mean,
Atlanta
Atlanta, yeah,
sucks.
Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm looking
I
at the
think,
next game. I'm looking at the next game. Sorry, but yeah,
yeah, you know
Atlanta
what it is though,
sucks.
bro? You know what it is though? I think Atlanta sucks, and I think Carolina sucks.
That two
So
things could be true at once.
so it's tough to say, but I mean, I just like Cam Newton so much, man. They're not making the playoffs. They don't have Christian McCaffrey no more, but I want to see Cam win, man. I just like to see the guy successful. So pull out this win, man. You're at home. Pull it out.
All right, Seattle versus Houston. Houston sucks. I'm going Seattle.
Yes, Seattle has not been good, but guess what? Russell Wilson got them that win last week against the 49ers, which was playing really good and are a decent team. So now you can't follow up the very next week and lose to Houston. That just can't happen.
All right, I got Dallas, Detroit. Sorry, Detroit, no T's for you.
Denver, Detroit.
Going Denver. Yeah, sorry, Dallas, Detroit. Sorry. Yeah, Denver. I'm going Denver.
Troy made it perfectly clear he was no longer picking Detroit. I thought he was going to say maybe Detroit because they pulled out the win last week, but that doesn't faze him at all. He's still picking opposite. But you know what? I don't trust Denver. I think they have a decent defense, and I think Detroit might be motivated to get another win in a row, man. It's not really good for them because draft picks, they could have higher ones if they lose games. But I don't think that head coach plays the game that way, which is pretty cool. So I think he's going to give his best effort. The team's going to give their best effort. And I like Detroit to make it 2 in a row. I can't believe I'm saying it. 2 in a row for Detroit.
That ain't happening. Now we got the Chargers versus the Giants. I'm sorry. I'm going Chargers.
Yeah, I'm going Chargers in a blowout. They're at home. The Giants don't even know if it's going to be Mike Glennon. They don't know if it's going to be Jake Fromm off the practice squad. Give me a break, Chargers. Come on, man. You should blow the Giants out. I'm a Giants fan. Troy's a Giants fan. But like I just mentioned with Detroit, it's all about draft picks anyway. So I'm perfectly fine with the Giants losing this game. Yeah, Chargers should run and throw all over these boys.
All right. And next we got Cincinnati and San Fran. I'm taking Cincinnati.
Yeah, both teams coming off of big losses. Bengals lost to the Chargers. 49ers lost to Seattle. Ooh, both teams, if they plan on making the playoffs, need to flip the script this week. Neither team needs the win more than the other. They both need it just as equally. I'm gonna ride that with you, man, and go Bengals, man. I am. I think they turn it around this week, man. But 49ers just quietly win games. I like the way they're coached over there. Joe Burrow, I feel like this. If you guys lose this week and you lost to the Chargers the other week, this might be the same old Cincinnati this season, where even with Andy Dalton, sometimes they would get off to great starts at the beginning of the season. And the next thing you know, oh, they're no longer a playoff team. So Cincinnati, you should win this game, man.
All right, Tampa, Buffalo. I'm going Tampa.
You know, what's funny is this could have been picked easily to be a pre-Super Bowl matchup. Everybody was high on Buffalo at the beginning of the season, and rightfully so, they should have been. But I've seen too many disappointing losses. We all said, oh, it was just a bad week against the Jaguars when they lost. Well, then what since then? They've still been losing games. So I'm going with Tampa Bay. The experience, the fact that they are the defending Super Bowl champs, and whenever Tampa Bay has a bad game, they bounce back. Not that they had a bad game last week, but Tampa Bay they're just more consistent of a team than Buffalo. They just are. I think Buffalo's too young, and that's why they're having these issues. I think that Buffalo is definitely a force to reckon with in the future, but I'm no longer picking Buffalo to be a Super Bowl favorite this season. So that's why I'm just going to go Tampa Bay over them, because they're a better team.
All right, last Sunday night game, we got Green Bay versus Chicago, which sometimes is a tough game, but I'm going Green Bay.
We're going Green Bay, absolutely. Aaron Rodgers said before, he said he owns Chicago. That's what he said, and I think he's going to continue to own them. Chicago's not good. Don't matter who they start at quarterback. Fields, who I like a lot and think he's going to be decent as the years go on, but he's just not there yet. And Andy Dalton, Andy Dalton, you're just a placeholder if you do play for Justin Fields when he's ready to completely be healthy and take over the team. Definitely Packers. Packers are coming off a bye week as well. There's no reason why the Packers are not refreshed at home or after the bye week, and they put the work on Chicago. Absolutely.
All right, then we got the Monday game, the Rams versus Arizona. I'm going Arizona.
Yeah, I really want to go the Rams. I got Cooper Kupp on my fantasy team, but I'm gonna go Arizona because guess what? Even with going Arizona, that's not gonna stop Cooper Kupp from going off. And the reason why is because Arizona's a little bit more consistent. Rams, you got that high-powered offense. You added Odell Beckham Jr. Even before you added Odell Beckham Jr., when Robert Woods was on the team, you looked great. But then all of a sudden, I'll compare you to Buffalo. You're losing games that you should not be losing, man. And with that being said, I got to go with the more consistent team. Kyler Murray was out for a few weeks with an injury, and he bounced back last week like you would have never even known he was out for a few games. So I like Kyler Murray in Arizona at home on Monday night. It is good to have the Monday night game be an anticipated game between really good teams. Even like Sunday night, you want your night games to be really, really, really good matchups. And Packers against Chicago's just not on their level. But the Rams in Arizona should be equally matched up. It's just a matter of, do the Rams show up? Because they have the tendency to not show up in big games. So I'm taking Arizona.
Yeah, and that's the NFL picks, man. We're going, we come back on Tuesday. So Wednesday is the day you guys see the episode. I told you guys to stop telling you the days we record. So we'll be back on Wednesday with wins and losses. And we got some guests in the building. We got one new guest in the building. We're waiting for them to join right now. So we'll see you guys when they get up in here. All right? What's up, guys? We're back, man. I got our new guest on here. I'm going to have him introduce himself in a second. But yeah, it's just a solo man today. Other guests have some stuff to take care of. So it's just us guys. So let's make it a great show. And Tyler, go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Yeah, so Tyler Black, I've been doing a bunch of podcasts for about 5 years now. I'm on the ONW Blazing Red Network on YouTube, and I will be the host of Blazing Lions podcast, which is a Detroit Lions podcast over on there too. So, like I said, I've been doing sports podcasts for about 5 years. So.
Do the Lions win enough to get their own podcast?
No, our community with the Lions have so many podcasters, it ain't funny. So
yeah. What do they talk about? Just the losing? How miserable it is being a fan?
Listen, it don't matter how many wins or losses you got your dedicated fans.
Yeah, you do got your dedicated fans. I mean, we Giants fans, man. So we know hands down. So, but yeah, we're gonna kick the show with some football, man. So it's Elliott and Barkley, they were compared a lot. Coming into the league. As we all know, Saquon Barkley has had some injuries. Zeke has played a little bit more than him. It's 83 games to 39 games. Ezekiel to Saquon. Only thing Saquon right now in those 39 games have over Zeke is he has a longer rushing run, which is 78 yards to Zeke 60.
Oh, wow. It's amazing.
So what are you guys' thoughts on Elliott and Barkley? I'm going to start with you, Tyler.
Elliott and Barkley. Let's see. Yeah, Saquon, he's had too many injuries over the years. And not Elliott, but Barkley. Yeah, he's had too many injuries over the years. And but he's had a lot of knee injuries, which that could basically hurt him down the line, unlike Elliott. So Elliott's a great running back too, but with the longest run, Barkley's got him beat with the longest run. So unless Elliott can do a long run, then Barkley will outdo him the longest run. So
I mean, he's not that far off. It's 60 to 78. He's 18 yards back.
Yeah, it's 18 yards.
I mean, when it comes down to it, I mean, that's not even really that big of a
it's not.
Not big of a difference or determining factor.
I know something that is a bigger difference, Pete. Okay, Saquon has 22 fumbles. No, I mean, Elliott has 22 fumbles and Saquon has 2.
Okay. That's a big difference.
A big difference.
But at the same time, Ezekiel came into the league before Saquon Barkley, and he's played, as we know, you said 89 to 39 games. So you should have more fumbles. But at the same time, 22 fumbles in 89 games is a little more high for my liking. 83 games, I'm sorry. That's a little high for my liking. So Barkley should cut down the fumbling a little bit. but obviously you're gonna have more fumbles if you played like almost 50 more games than the other guy did. Us being big Giants fans, I was all for the pick out of Penn State with Barkley. I was excited about it and everything like that. But now, as the years have gone on with Barkley, and not just him, even other running backs in the league, I'm starting to realize that maybe a first round pick on a running back is not the way to go. Barkley was like picked as like the best running back in the league. I'm sorry, in college football that season. And he was the guy to go with. If there was any running back to come out of the first round, it was supposed to be him. The Giants really did need a running back. So it was nice to see them address that issue. But it would also have been nice to see somebody else make that mistake and not us. Because the big thing now is everybody's talking about Barkley's done, get rid of him, don't re-sign him, this, that. And you know what? I can't be mad at people talking that way because Barkley has not lived up to things and expectations. Obviously, injuries has a big part to do with it, and you can't really control that. But listen, it's showing that you're not that durable, man. So unfortunately, man, these running backs are getting paid big and they're coming out of the first round, but you're gonna have a lot of teams that are using the Giants as an example and using other teams as an example that are taking these running backs in the first round to sit here and say, you know what? Let me learn from their mistake and not make that same mistake. So, yeah, as far as Elliott's concerned, I think he had a great start to his career. It's tough to jump on Elliott's, down his throat right now just because of the season he's having this year. He's not having the greatest season, as we know. And also, too, the things that you're hearing a lot about is how Elliott's backup, Tony Pollard, is outplaying him right now. He's playing a lot better than him right now. So with us talking about this segment, I feel like right now, there's a lot of negative that we can put towards Ezekiel Elliott with the fact that he's being outplayed by his backup that's not even coming close to making the money that he's making. It's easy for us to talk negative about Saquon Barkley because he can't stay on the field because of his injuries. Do they have good characteristics and good points that they've brought in so far to this league and to their teams? Sure, they have. A much smaller sample size with Saquon Barkley because of the injuries and the fact that he was drafted after Ezekiel Elliott. But either way, man, both guys are looking like the primes might not be there anymore, or the legs might not be there anymore, or the wear and tear on their body has really, really started to take a toll. So I feel like both these guys, the spotlight will be on them for next season to see what they really can do. Ezekiel Elliott has a little bit more time because of the fact that Dallas is going to make the playoffs. I even heard that Tony Pollard might be banged up this week and might not play this week. He's got a torn plantar fasciitis. So with that being said, maybe Zeke, who says, I quote, it's going to be hard to rip him off the field, even though he's been playing with this knee injury. Maybe Ezekiel Elliott can say, you know what? I don't got Pollard coming in the game this week. Let me let everybody know who the real lead back is in Dallas. And that'd be nice to see.
Anything to add, Tyler?
I agree. If Ezekiel Elliott's that banged up, he needs to give it a rest if it's a bad knee injury. He needs to just hang it up, call it a year, and let Tony Pollard do his thing.
I agree.
Even if it's not hanging it up for the season, take a week or two off.
Yeah.
Just get your legs right. Get ready for the playoffs. You're not doing the team anything by coming out there at 60% or 70% or whatever it is you call yourself doing, especially in a week that you might not have Tony Pollard. Maybe if you had a sat out last week, you'd be more fresh for this week for your team, especially in a big division matchup against the Washington football team. So we'll see.
All right, moving on. We got the quarterbacks, man. Two young quarterbacks, Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert, man. Similar games, Joe Burrow was hurt one season towards ACL, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he played 22 games so far. Justin Herbert's 27. Justin Herbert has better numbers in them games, though. The only thing that, Burrow has right now on him is less interceptions at 19 to 21, and then completion percentage by 0.2.
Yeah. Justin Herbert's a straight slinger. He's been in the league less because he came into the league last season. So the fact that he has more interceptions, no big deal. I won't hold that against him. Plus also Joe Burrow missing so much of last season obviously means he's not going to throw as many interceptions. So between the two of them, I'll put the interception thing aside. You also can't talk too much negative about Joe Burrow just because of what happened last week against the Chargers when they played each other. The Chargers completely outplayed them. Justin Herbert completely outplayed Joe Burrow. So it's easy to be like, oh, Justin Herbert's better. Justin Herbert's better. I actually do think Justin Herbert's better, but I'm not going to sit here and say Justin Herbert's better just because of the one game last week with them playing each other. I think they both have high ceilings in this league. I think that they are definitely the future when it comes to the quarterbacks, because once your Aaron Rodgers is gone, once your Tom Brady's gone, and once your Russell Wilson's gone, and all these really good Ben Roethlisberger's gone, and it's now a young quarterback league with new faces, these are definitely going to be two of the guys at the top, with your Pat Mahomes and your Lamar Jackson really representing for the NFL as far as the face of the quarterbacks and what other quarterbacks and what other teams want for their teams. These are going to be the guys that are looked at because they're super, super good. I was completely shocked and super happy for Joe Burrow that coming off an injury, he would look as good as he's done this season. I thought with the ACL injury, it would almost be like, just get your legs under you this season, and then next season you can show everybody where you're at. No, Joe Burrow came out the gates this season saying, you know what? I rehabbed good, the injury's behind me, and I'm ready to ball out. And right now he has his team in a position where they could possibly make the playoffs. He's got Jamar Chase, who he's familiar with. They both played at LSU together, so he's got himself a stud wide receiver. And then with Justin Herbert, he definitely has stud wide receivers with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Justin Herbert is set up lovely in the Chargers. Troy knows I'm big on the Chargers. I talk about them all the time. I talk about Justin Herbert all the time, but that's not to take anything away from Joe Burrow. I think these two guys are definitely big time superstars and are definitely going to be like top 5 quarterbacks as the league goes on and some of these older veterans are no longer around.
Tyler?
I agree. Yeah, watching those two out of college, they were gunslingers in college, both of them, especially Herbert. They both were great in college. And yeah, when they came into the league, they both have been slinging the ball. But yeah, Joe Burrow with the torn ACL, he's not going to be as mobile as he once was. But yeah, Justin Herbert right now is outdoing Joe Burrow right now just by slinging the ball. And he has a better offense in the Chargers than Burrow.
Yeah, I was waiting for somebody to say that offense. He does have a little bit of a better offense over there with the Chargers.
You're talking about Herbert, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Burrow still has Joe Mixon, and he still has Jamar Chase. You know, then you go to Los Angeles, and he's got the 2 wide receivers over there, and he's got Austin Eckler. Yeah. So when it comes to actually like who has the better team, I guess now it's almost like you got to look at the other side of the ball. What has the better defense? Who has the better offensive line? Maybe who's even better at special teams to see exactly who's better and who has the better supporting cast. But if you want to base anything on what happened last week, you got to go with the Chargers because they took care of
they outdid the Bengals last week. They outdid them. They beat the crap out of them.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Justin has something to prove there, and he went out and he proved it. But let's move on, man. We're gonna. I can't stop or end the football, part of this podcast without bringing up, the news that everybody's talking about. Demarcus Thomas. Am I saying his first name? Demarius
Thomas. Yep, he passed away last night.
Died at the age of 33. Sure, we would know what happened when the autopsy come out. I'm not going to make no speculations, but from the first report I read, it said health issues. So don't know what was going on there, but we want to from the sideline to his family. Want to send you guys prayers and just send you prayers and I'll pray for you guys and tell God to give you guys strength to make it through this because he was a young man and healthy. He said health issues, but he played football, so you got to be pretty healthy to do that. So it's just a little bizarre to me that but it happens. Pete.
Yeah, more information will come out about it. Really sad, man. I'm just gonna go back to his playing career, man. Dude was a star. If you don't know, go look him up. Go ask somebody. Dude was a star. When he was on the Denver Broncos and his other running mate at wide receiver was Emmanuel Sanders, those two as a combo were tough to stop with Peyton Manning throwing him the ball. He got himself a Super Bowl ring. He was super durable, made all the big time catches. Matter of fact, you could say he was the 1A and Emmanuel Sanders was the 1B. So I know he had a car accident that I don't know a whole lot about back in 2019. Then he bounced around from like the Texans to the Jets. And then after that, he decided to hang it up at somewhat of an early age because he officially, I heard, announced his retirement at the beginning of this season. But you know what? The man had money in the bank. And if he wanted to retire at 33, that's fine. No problem. Good for him. Enjoy your life with your family. It's just really sad that it had to be cut short due to health reasons or complications. I heard it might be from the car accident possible, but I'm not going to speculate. More things will come out. And regardless of what it is or how it happened, it's a sad story, a sad situation. And like Troy said, prayers and thoughts out to his family and friends.
I agree. Yeah, Demaryius Thomas, he was a great wide receiver when he was in the league. Great wide receiver. Peyton Manning throwing him the ball, catching it. Actually started with Tebow. Tebow's the one that actually threw him the ball first.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, and you want to know something crazy? No, go ahead, Tyler. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, because when Tebow threw that game winner in the playoffs against the Steelers, that was to Demaryius Thomas. So so Tebow, that's what Tebow's a big time play in the NFL. So
and you know what? Listen, when you can catch a ball from that noodle arm Tebow, okay, and then on top of it, you're not catching balls from Indianapolis Colts Peyton Manning. You were catching balls from Denver Broncos Peyton Manning, okay? Completely different arms, okay? Peyton will tell you, he had the neck surgeries. Yeah, he had the neck surgeries and everything. Say it again.
I said a completely different neck.
Yeah, exactly. So Peyton Manning was not the same player, but Demaryius Thomas was still out there as his number one wide receiver and helped get them a Super Bowl win. So yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on to some basketball. We got we're gonna start off in Portland, but we're gonna start off with McCullough's collapsed lung. So I don't know if you guys heard, but McCullough's has a collapsed lung. He's probably gonna miss some times. I wanna wish him a speedy recovery. Hope to see him back out on the court.
Great player too.
Yeah, it's a little scary. I don't know. I didn't read how it happened, or I didn't see how it happened, but yeah, I wanted to put him on the dock. But this was even before we found out about Thomas. But I just wanted to send my prayers out to him. Hope he feels better soon. Get back out there, help Portland get some wins. Anybody want to touch on it?
Yeah, McCollum's he's a great player. It sucks to have him have a collapsed lung at his young age. It sucks.
Yeah, I mean, you're an NBA player, you're healthy, you're a top tier athlete. So to hear something like that happens, I even read up on it a little bit because I don't know a whole lot about collapsed lungs and different things like that. You know, I'm hearing like obviously punctures to that area of your body can do that to you. And then I also heard like hard contact as well. So maybe he took a hard bump somewhere along the line or fell on the floor or something, and it did something internally to his insides. I don't necessarily know, but it's nothing to play around with. You can't breathe that good on one lung, okay? So I hope he has a speedy recovery, but the word speedy, it might not be too speedy. That's the type of thing where that lung needs to now be filled back up with air because that collapsed lung, I saw pictures of it. It literally shrinks. It's like when you put your good healthy lung next to that lung, it's like, whoa. So I don't know what that necessarily like that treatment is for it and everything like that. But I mean, you're an NBA player and you have nothing but the best doctors and health staff over there helping you get through this. So relax and rest and take your time and come back right.
Yeah, all right. So let's talk about Dame, man. Has the clock stuttering? Has the clock stopped on Dame time? That's the question.
That's what the clock is doing. The clock is stuttering. Okay. The clock is stuck in daylight savings or whatever the heck you want to call it. And it's been like that for a couple seasons. I respect Dame and his loyalty to the franchise. It's time to move on, man. They haven't put the right pieces around you. Now you got a new head coach who we don't even know really what to say about Chauncey Billups right now. They don't have the most wins in the world, which isn't meaning a knock on him. He's a new coach. It's still early, and he's not out there playing the games on the floor. But at the same time, I feel like you can't keep wasting Dame Dollar's prime of his career not getting out of the first round or only making it to the second round, even a conference final. I'm sorry, you play this game to win championships. And if they're not putting the right pieces around you or whatever, I get it. You've done a lot for that community in Portland, and that's where you live and you raised your family, and that's where you grew as a player and everything like that. And everybody loves to say, you know what? I'm Kobe Bryant. I stayed with my team for my entire career, one team. I didn't bounce around and this and that and this and that. But you know what, man? This is a business where guess what? They have no problem kicking you to the side when you're injured. They have no problem kicking you to the side when you get old and when you don't play well anymore. So you know what? kick them to the side if you're a superstar like you are, and they're not bringing in the proper pieces and talent to put your team and that organization over the hump. You are too good to be one of those players that retires, and when it's all said and done, you don't have at least one shiny ring on your finger. Dame Dollar is too good. This guy is elite. He's a superstar. He's underrated. A matter of fact, I'm waiting to see when does Dame Dollar get his first MVP, okay? Because every single season, when you look at the odds as far as sports betting is concerned, he's one of those top names up there with the odds saying like he should win a championship. I think this season he was right up there with Luka Doncic and a couple other guys or whatever as far as your top 10 guys to actually win an MVP this season. So I'm a big Dame Dollar fan or whatever. I do like him in Portland. I don't have a problem with Portland or whatever. But at the same time, you got to do what you got to do, and you got to get yourself your ring. You're going to most likely be a Hall of Fame player or whatever, but you want to have that ring to go with it, man. You are too good, and we don't know how much longer you have of a prime of your career. Maybe you only got 3-4 years. How about this? Injuries happen out of nowhere too. What if something happened where you got injured and then all of a sudden you aren't able to be as good for the next 4 or 5 years and you're only good for another couple years? Who knows? But if it's time to leave Portland, Portland will always love you. They're not going to boo you when you come in the building. They'll retire your jersey. You can go into the Hall of Fame as a Portland Trailblazer if you want to, but go somewhere. I know the Knicks would love to have you. Doesn't mean that's where you want to go, but go somewhere where you can win, because maybe the Knicks aren't that place because they need other pieces. But in free agency, even if it's not at the trade deadline or whatever, in free agency next season or whatever the case may be, you need to pick the right spot for you that's going to put a supporting cast around you, because you and McCollum just aren't enough to get it done.
I agree. But there, like before the season even started, there was rumors that Damian Lillard was going to come to the Pistons. So there was that rumor. So
oh gosh, ooh.
That ain't no better
I know.
situation.
I know.
Stay in Portland. Stay in Portland. Did I say leave Portland? Stay in Portland.
That's why
That
he
would
said
make
he
me
wasn't
happy.
going nowhere. That's exactly why he came out and said he wasn't going nowhere.
Oh
That would have
man.
made my day if he would have came to the Pistons. That would have made my day.
Him
Yeah,
and
Damian
Jeremy, what's his name? Grant?
Yeah, and Cade Cunningham.
Yeah. And Kate Cunningham's the #1 overall pick. So
Yeah,
Kate is nice, but
yeah, Damian Lillard, he's a great point guard. Yeah,
are you
he's in
taking
the
Kate
final.
over CJ?
There you go.
What'd you
But,
say?
Damian Lillard.
CJ McCollum.
Over Cade Cunningham?
Yeah, are you taking Kate over CJ?
I mean, honestly, I didn't know a whole lot about Cade in college. And obviously this is too small of a sample on the NBA level. So I don't really know what Cade's going to be. I really don't. As far as McCollum is concerned, I think McCollum is good. I'm not
think
sitting
he's
here
overrated?
saying like, you said it, not me.
Nah, you shaking your head though. Your head's shaking though.
Yeah,
See how he tried to answer it, guys, but not answer it.
that's a clear sign, right? That's a sign right there.
Mhm. Go ahead, Tyler.
I
Yeah.
said Kate Cunningham was a beast at Oklahoma State. He was
At Oklahoma
He was
great.
nasty in college.
He was
Yeah,
great.
that's what I'm hearing. That's a great question, man. McCollum is still young too, and he has flashes of looking really good. He can definitely be a starter in this league. Maybe it just doesn't work with two ball dominant players like himself and Damian Lillard. Maybe McCollum needs somebody maybe McCollum needs to run the point, and then you get McCollum a shooting guard in Portland that doesn't need to have the ball in his hand. McCollum can run point, no problem. I just feel like two guys like that have similar games, even though Dame Lillard is on a completely another level and way more explosive. They have similar styles, and maybe that's why it's not working. I don't want to call the man overrated, because there's a lot of players, a lot of teams that would love to have McCollum on their team.
Mhm.
It's just not working in Portland. That's all, between the two of them. It's just not working. That's all.
Yeah, because
That's no knock on McCollum's game.
I said Damian Lillard, he's in the prime of his life, but yeah, he needs to go find a team to win a title.
That's it.
He needs to go find a team to win a title. Yeah, the Knicks.
I get it. You want to
team, Brooklyn, the Lakers, they could win titles. So he needs to go to a title contender, and yeah.
But
Listen, I'm a Nets
I think
fan.
Dame's thing is he doesn't want to go to a team where he's joining somebody else. And I think that's
He
his
cares about
pride
that.
that gets in the
He
way.
cares about
Where
that.
I don't think he needs to go to a team where he's joining LeBron, KD, or somebody like that, but go join a team that has some talent that you could compete against them guys at least.
Mhm.
I don't hear a lot of people say like, oh, we get on LeBron, for joining Dwayne Wade and with Chris Bosh, right? And I hear it some, but I don't hear it as much as I hear is everybody getting on Durant for joining the Golden State Warriors.
That's because he lost to them in the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, I mean, everybody lets Durant have it. They say his championships have asterisks next to them, which I don't agree with, but they let Durant have it for joining that. And you have a lot of players that have pride, including Dame Lillard, that's like, you know what, man? I don't want to join that super team where people are hating on me and saying that's the only reason why I won. So I respect that. I respect his loyalty to Portland. But you got to win, man. Everybody wants to be compensated. And Dame Lillard doesn't have to worry about that. He will be compensated for whatever team he goes to. They will throw the bag at him. He will still get a max contract. A lot of times you think, oh, well, if I join these superstars, there's not enough money to pay all three of us. No. He's still going to get that max deal, whether it's a team up of 2 superstars or if it's a group of 3. But McCollum is not a superstar. You need one more piece. Jordan needed Pippen. Everybody needs one more piece. McCollum is, I'm not going to call him a role player because a role player means you just come in and do specific things to help your team. He's better than a role player. He's an important piece, but he's not a superstar piece. And it doesn't have to be a superstar piece at the guard position to help Damian Lillard out. It could be a center. It could be a power forward. But he needs another star there, Anthony Davis, something that would really help Dame Lillard out.
Definitely. He needs that superstar piece to help McCollum out and Damian Lillard. They do that, they could be title contenders.
Yeah, I definitely think the team constructed around him. I think you can keep McCollum there, but I think
to
get McCollum to come a little bit
no doubt,
more ball and spot up shooting and stuff like that. And then because one of them have to be the primary guy if they're both in the game at the same time. And I know that's Lillard, but Lillard does have to defer sometimes to McCollum because McCollum is the same type of player he is. And I think 2 of the same type of player can work, but you just need the pieces around them that's predicated to their type of game that helps them out, where I don't think Portland has them type of pieces around, Dame that predicates his game. And going to a
Dame needs to do?
Team might just I mean, I don't blame him because Giannis isn't going to go to another superstar team. Even if he leaves the Bucks, he isn't going to go join a superstar team. He's going to go somewhere else and with a decent team or a team that he think he can make it there with, and probably get 1-2 more pieces of nice role players or above role players, and then try to take it that way. And I think Dame needs to take that same route. You want to be loyal and shit, but if your organization that you're with ain't showing that they need that, if they ain't giving you what they need to give you for you to be loyal, there ain't no reason for you to be loyal. And I think the team is being loyal for no reason right now.
Yeah, and when you're the superstar, no matter if your name's LeBron James, Damian Lillard, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, believe it or not, you are the one in control of that franchise. That franchise will do whatever it is you ask for to make you happy because they don't want to lose you. And Dame Lillard, I'm not there with the man, but he comes off to me as a little bit more on the quiet side. Nah, bro, kick them office doors open and tell them what it is you want and what you need with this team to stay there. And they will listen to you. Maybe you're not that type of guy. Go have a talk with your agent. I don't know. Call me up. I'll tell you, bro. Kick them damn doors open and tell them, listen, I'm gone if you don't do this, this, and that, okay? I even heard Dame Lillard was a little upset because when it came to hiring a new head coach, they didn't even talk to him really about it. How do you not inquire about what head coach comes in with what type of offense he's going to bring to the team, and you don't consult your best player? That's unheard of. That doesn't make any sense. The game is supposed to work around your best player. If that coach's style is not going to mesh with him, it ain't going to work. You can't bring a coach in that's like, okay, Dame, we're going to run this offense and completely change the type of player you are to this, because I'm the head coach and this is what I want to implement. No, it's got to be a perfect match. It's got to be a husband-wife type of thing. It's got to go together, man. And Dame Lillard is in a position where call them shots, bro. And if you come off a certain way, who cares? Call them shots because you're that guy, you're in that position, and the team needs to listen to you if they want to keep you because you are that superstar of a talent. And maybe if Dame Lillard walks in there throwing his voice around, throwing his weight around, and making some demands, who knows? In a season, the team might look better.
All right. So let's move on to, I got some NBA players that's either not playing right now or on the bench and not playing. So I'm gonna name you some names, and you guys just tell me what you think the perfect fit for them is, and I'll give you guys my fit first. So first, we're gonna start with Kyrie. And I was thinking yesterday, and I'm like, Kyrie, Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero. That might just work out. It might just work out, but it's like, do you move Kyle Lowry? Because then you mess up the camaraderie. You understand? Like Jimmy Butler's child's godfather, you know, they're friends, they're good friends. That can go a long way, especially in the playoffs. But I just think I think the Heat need a little bit more scoring. And I think Kyrie can be that scoring for them.
Yeah, I agree. Kyrie goes to Miami, that'll give them the scoring threat they need. But until Kyrie's able to leave the Nets, then he ain't playing because of their vaccine mandate. So, yeah.
But what do you think? What team do you think he fits with? He will fit with besides like if he leaves the Nets.
I say Miami because they need a scoring threat. They really do. They don't have much of a scoring threat down there in Miami, except Duncan Robinson, who's a 3-point genius down there, and Kyle Lowry.
Tyler Hero's been going off.
If Kyrie went down to Miami, he'd be their scoring threat to accommodate all of them.
Pete?
Yeah, a spot for Kyrie. That's a tough one. As far as Miami's concerned, I mean, I know Miami's really big on Kyle Lowry. That's why they made the move to get him. And he showed him that he really fits well on that team. But the one thing I guess Kyrie has going for him now is the fact that last season he made it perfectly clear he doesn't care about running point guard. So now it's like we can maybe bring him onto a team that already has an established point guard because Kyrie doesn't mind playing the shooting guard position. And with that being said, that now opens up a ton more teams that he can go to. Because at first I'm saying to myself, well, they have a point guard. That's not going to work. Well, they have a point guard. That's not going to work. But maybe if Kyrie's willing to come in and play shooting guard and not play point guard, then that opens up to the more teams that could fit for him. But to just sit there and pick one right now, it's super, super tough. And the one thing that Kyrie's got going against him is like, what happened with the Nets didn't look good. What happened with Boston didn't look good. Shoot, what happened with Cleveland didn't look good. It's like you join these teams and like all of a sudden you're like, this is my team. This is where I want to retire with. This is who I want to win championships with. And then whether it's a vaccine mandate or whether it's you don't want to play with LeBron no more, or whether it's not working with the way they're doing things in Boston anymore, you'll one out real quick. And rumor has it, Kyrie and max deals and stuff, I heard wherever he goes, teams are looking at him as like a 1-year deal type of thing, man. You got to come in for 1 year. We can't risk the money and the players or whatever it takes to get you over here to have you on a multi-year deal whenever Kyrie wants, he's going to turn on the little babiness and start causing fits. I'm a big Brooklyn Nets fan, and I loved him on the team. I wish he was out there playing with us. We could definitely use him, but it's definitely time for us to move on from him. Where he goes, it really doesn't matter. He's going to be a huge spark to that team. He's an all-world talent. But to be honest with you, man, I feel like if he's going to go anywhere and it's really going to work and he can really display his skills, go somewhere that like they're not that good. Go to a Detroit Pistons. Go to a San Antonio Spurs. Go to a Pelicans. Go to a really bad team and then play your butt off. You know, why wouldn't it work with the Pelicans? They got rid of Lonzo Ball. You got Zion Williamson there. You got Brandon Ingram over there. Let them come in and play point over there. You know what I mean? And make that team take a rise to where they're at right now. Because all the really good teams that are stacked or are still decent, really good playoff teams, I don't see it. I don't see you really needing to be with them. You know what I mean? Or them wanting to put up with the drama that you bring. Shoot, I think you'd be a great fit for New York. The only problem is New York and Brooklyn are both New York. So the vaccine mandate that's in Brooklyn is the same one going on in Manhattan at Madison Square Garden, because I think Kyrie would actually fit with the Knicks pretty well. So, Kyrie, man, you got some decision making to do. You got to give yourself a hard look in the mirror and say, do I even want to still play this game? Because right now you're making it very difficult for teams to make a fair assessment and honest judgment on what you're going to bring to the table and where your mindset is. Because right now people don't even know where your head is right now.
All right, moving on. Let's talk about the Big Ben Simmons. Where you guys think he's going? I say Portland. I think that would be a good fit. Because we like you just said with Kyrie played the two. It's not even shooting guard, it's the two. That's the positions. Positions is not point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center no more. It's the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5. That's what it is. We're positionless basketball, so you can literally play anybody where you want. PJ Tucker played center for a whole year. He's not a center. All right. So
Not even close.
Ben Simmons, Portland, figure it out. But I think that Ben Simmons will fit good in Portland with Dame.
Yeah.
With Dame, not
Oh,
for Dame. With Dame is what I'm saying.
So then McCollum's getting moved. Okay. I didn't hear that part of anything. I know the media. That's the big one they talk about is Portland.
That's
Everybody
my take
talks
on
about
it, not theirs. That's my take.
Yeah. I know the media. Everybody's big on Portland for Ben Simmons. I will say this: if Lillard's involved in the deal, I think as a Nets fan, and I don't like saying it, I think if Lillard goes to Philly, oh my gosh, that elevates that team tremendously.
Oh yeah.
That elevates that team tremendously, man. That'd be
imagine Ben playing the 3. You get what's the kid Simons out there to play the 2, and then Dame time to play the 1, bro. And
I like Simons a lot too. I really like Simons a lot.
Too. And that's what I'm
saying.
You know
what?
You could keep keep Dame, get rid of McCollum, see if the 76ers would take a package with McCollum and some draft picks or something.
So you elevate Simons to the starting lineup and put him in McCollum's spot at the 2 guard is what you're saying.
I would unless the coach thinks it's somebody that fits better with that on
so
the floor.
If you put Ben Simmons at small forward, you're mainly able to do that based on how good of a defensive player he is and his size and height.
And his ability to get to the rim because he's a slasher. He's a slasher. So you can use him just for what he is. I don't need Ben to shoot. Everybody wants Ben to shoot. I don't need Ben to shoot. Put Ben.
No, I don't want Ben shooting at all.
Take the ball out Ben's hand. Run up some plays where Ben is getting double screens, triple screens, and throwing lobs. Ben is good at that. Ben can do that. Ben can get to the rack. So use his strength. Don't put Ben up on the 3-point line. Keep him down low.
Do you think Ben is okay not playing point guard?
I think so. Yeah. I don't think he needs to play on his hand. I think that's what
I know he likes to play point guard. Listen, it's I am so big, and a lot of teams are doing it now, even with like Luka Doncic, for instance. I think it is even the Nets with James Harden. I think it is such an advantage to have a big point guard and not one of these little point guards that run around the court or whatever, because you can guard multiple positions. You're a better rebounder. And Ben Simmons, man, like I said, we all know his biggest weakness is the jump shot, right? But Ben Simmons can find himself on a roster as a starting point guard based on the fact that he plays defense, he's big, and he can rebound, okay? And that's enough to get it done. It's Portland. I think Portland's the best fit. It's just a matter of, is it with Lillard or without Lillard? But I think Portland would be a good fit for Ben Simmons. Yeah, I agree with everybody on that.
I agree. Ben Simmons going to Portland, yeah, he'd be a great fit. But I'd rather have him with Lillard instead of without him, because Lillard be running the point. And then, with Simmons, Simmons is not a great jump shooter. He's not. And his free throw percentage ain't the greatest either. So that's what happens when you're not a great. That's what happens when you're not a great jump shooter.
Tell Ben, what about this? Aggressive dunk on everybody. That's what I want you. I want you to attempt dunk on everybody.
So since both of you guys like him with Lillard in Portland, right? I got one for you, because we all know Dame Lillard is an amazing shooter. Let Ben run the point and put Dame at the 2.
I mean,
that's a great idea. That's a great idea, because Ben Simmons would be the playmaker,
but
he'd be the playmaker, assist maker, and then Damian Lillard would be the scorer. So,
but the question would be, does Dame need the ball in his hand?
And that's
like I said, we play in position in basketball, so it don't matter if you put Dame at the 1, the 2, Ben at the 1, the 2, or the 3. It's you can still make Ben bring the ball up, or you can still have Dame bring the ball up. It doesn't matter. Dame, the offense can still be run through Dame, even if Dame is the 2.
See, I liked Portland. I like him for Portland without Lillard a little more, because I feel like now, without the superstar of Dame Lillard on there, I kind of feel like that might elevate McCollum's game a little bit.
But you got to remember, McCollum's had chances to do that when Lillard was injured and out. And even though he balled what was his bowling? Where did his bowling get them?
Say that again.
I said when Lillard was out, CJ
Right.
McCollum bowled, but where did his bowling? He balled out, but where did it get them?
No, right. But I mean, was Lillard out for a long time? These were small samples, right?
No, I think Lillard was out a couple of, maybe 2 years ago. He was out for a while.
And but then at the same time, too, right? What was McCollum's role out there without Lillard? You know what I mean? Whereas, like, if you bring in a Ben Simmons and Ben Simmons is on the floor with McCollum don't really got to defer to nobody. You're not deferring to Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons isn't a shooter. You're deferring to Dame Lillard because Dame Lillard can do it all. I feel like that's McCollum. I feel like McCollum, when you asked me before if McCollum's overrated, if you take him away from Dame Lillard, I think that's when you see his whole bag come out.
So why
now you get to see?
So if that's true, why wouldn't he leave?
Why wouldn't who leave?
Because
McCollum?
CJ, yeah. Why wouldn't CJ go sign somewhere else? Because then he know he could be the number one option.
Well, here's my question: how much more time does McCollum have on his contract? Because that might be in his head.
He could have been did it though.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He could have been did it. If he felt that way, if he felt the way that how you feel, that he can run the team by himself, why stay in Dame's shadow? Because you're gonna be the little asterisk next to Dame's failure. It's both of you. It's not just Dame, and I don't like when people put it on Dame. It's not just Dame. CJ and Dame is the core of that team. CJ, Dame, and Nurkic is the core of that team. It falls on all three of them, mostly on Dame and CJ. In my opinion, just my opinion.
Yeah.
But let's move on to Kemba. Kemba Walker, everybody know the situation. Kemba, Knicks was like, sit your ass down. And he sat his ass down. And I'm thinking two teams that I think Kemba his scoring would be good on. I don't know if they need him for defense. Maybe one of them, but I'm going Nuggets or Pelicans.
Nuggets.
I'm going Nuggets or Pelicans
with Kemba. Ooh.
Well, are you talking about a bench role when Jamal Murray comes back?
It could be a bench role, but at least you get scoring out of them. The Nuggets too. The Nuggets struggle with scoring.
I mean, me personally, myself, I've never been a big fan of Kemba Walker.
Me either.
I get it. He was great with UConn. What he did over, what was that, New Orleans or whatever? I mean, that's what got him paid. Yeah, I mean, Kemba, am I saying it right? New Orleans, right, Kemba?
No, Charlotte.
Charlotte Hornets, New Orleans. Yeah, so, okay. They used to be the New Orleans Hornets. Then they switched to the Charlotte Hornets. That's what throwing me off. Okay. Yeah, that's what got him paid, what he did over there. But what he did over there was easy to do because there were no other stars on the team at that time. So then the Knicks come and pick him up. And I feel like the Knicks only did it because I keep hearing all this talk about he's from New York, bring him to New York. He's from New York. What's that matter, man? Because guess what? Now he's on the bench and he's not even playing. So that New York.
That's why they picked him up. I think they thought they was going to be able to utilize Kemba.
I mean, that's also, you don't put a guy on the team unless you can utilize him also. But I feel like I hear more people talking about he's a great fit because he's from New York. You're bringing him back home. But now he's on the bench.
Yeah,
so where did that get you? Yeah, I mean, where did it get you now? So where can Kemba go and play? Gosh. This, I feel like what Thibodeau and the Knicks have done to him, which I felt was the right move, hurts his stock tremendously, man. Dang. You signed a 2-year deal for $18 million, $9 million a year, and 15 games into the season, you on the bench? Not even in the rotation anymore.
But they say he can work his way back in, so I mean, it is still open.
Okay. It's open, but it's closed right now.
Tyler.
Wow. Where do I think Kemba would go to? I would want him to come to my Pistons because Killian Hayes at the point, yeah, we need an upgrade at point guard. And Kemba would be a great upgrade for us, especially with his scoring.
Not how people thought he was going to be. I mean, he's still young, but
he's still young, but
could be the wrong franchise. It could be the wrong organization for him too.
I think so.
It's all about system.
Yeah.
System. It's all about system. That system might not work for Killian.
No. With the Drain Casey system, yeah, it's not working for him. But Kemba would be a great upgrade for the Pistons. He'd be a great upgrade for a point guard.
There's a lot of
Because
players
of
that would be a
scoring.
big upgrade for the Pistons.
Everybody.
I know. I know. Because the Pistons is my team, so I agree. But Kemba would be great for us. But yeah, if it's not with my Pistons, then yeah, Denver would be a great spot for him because of scoring wise. Without Murray, because Murray was their team last year,
Yeah.
pretty much. He was their scorer.
And you can
And
tell
yeah.
like him missing is a big thing with their offense.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Without Murray.
When you
Murray,
talk about
they're nothing.
when you talk about Denver, right? And then there's another team too, like the Cavaliers. They're missing Colin Sexton for a while too, right? Are you talking about a guy like Kemba to come in as just a placeholder till these guys come back? Because like
You could do that and then utilize him off the bench.
right.
Mm-hmm.
He could play 10, 15 minutes off the bench. Pretty sure somebody could use scoring off the bench. Kemba is that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's struggling with the Knicks, but like I said, it could just be the system that Thibodeau is running over there too.
Right.
But let's move on to John Wall. I got 2 places for John Wall, and they're both in LA.
John Wall. Here we go.
I got them both in LA, Clippers and Lakers, either which one.
The
And same
Clippers
thing like
or the
you-
Lakers for John
just
Wall.
like-
Clippers or Lakers? Ooh.
Yeah, just like you said, Pete, he could come off the bench, bro. He just got to be willing to accept the role. He got to be a Carmelo. He could come off the bench with Carmelo and just stand in the
Right.
corner and shoot, bro. Because he
Yeah,
can't.
and listen.
John Wall can't come back thinking that he's gonna be a dominant ball holder, you know, like he ain't doing that. He's not coming back with the ball.
I'll tell you one thing. If John Wall comes off the bench with Carmelo Anthony, that's a heck of a second unit.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
a heck of
Like,
a second unit.
now you
As
got
far as I'm concerned-
Carmelo hitting the 3, but you know John Wall can also shoot 30% from 3. So
Listen, as far as I'm concerned, Carmelo should be in the starting lineup. I watched that
definitely
Lakers
should
game the
be,
other night.
Definitely. should
Carmelo
be.
should be in his starting lineup, and I put him right there next to Anthony Davis at power forward.
Mhm.
I put him right there. I like
Nope,
Anthony
at the
Davis at the
4.
5.
And
Say it again?
Carmelo, I said at the 4.
Yep, and put Melo at the 4. I'd be all for it. People don't even remember Melo's most productive years with the Knicks. He played the 4. He played the 4 with the Knicks, okay? And like you said, in positionless basketball, where people are playing small ball in these small lineups, Carmelo is big enough and strong enough to play the 4, especially with Anthony Davis next to him in the 5. But you know what?
But they put
I feel
LeBron
like
at
once
7.
Portland put Melo off the bench, now the new team that signs him, the Lakers, are like, oh, he looks so good with Portland off the bench. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't even know why the heck he was coming off the bench in Portland, but you know, that's another story. But yeah, man,
that was
a big
weird
Melo
to me
fan.
too that Portland brought him off the bench. I would thought
Yeah.
Portland would have used Carmelo a lot better than bringing him off the bench.
So
because they
here's the
need it.
thing
They
with
need
Portland,
scoring.
right?
They need to take the
When
ball
he
out of
came-
Dame Lillard and McCullough's hands. So
When he came to the team 2 years ago, he came in on a 10-day contract because he was out the league.
mhm.
Then when he was signed for the rest of the season, and then Portland signed him to a 1-year deal last season, dang, that wasn't enough to get the man back in the starting lineup. I mean, I'm a huge Melo fan, and I'm looking at what he does, even for the Lakers right now. Carmelo is lights out, man. Lights out. Even on the nights that LeBron James has missed games, they haven't even put Carmelo in the starting lineup. I'm like, you telling me these guys have similar games in a way? They're about the same size. They, you know, and Melo can't even get a start with LeBron on the bench. I don't get it, man. Maybe they're just that comfortable with him coming off the bench with that second unit, providing a little leadership and being one of the veterans in that second unit. And maybe Melo is like, listen, when you talk about John Wall and things like that, a lot of guys, your Kemba Walkers and your John Wall, need to be more accepting of that backup role. Whereas Melo, I wouldn't accept it. I need to start.
I mean, he's been there, he's done that, and that's what got him out the league. So
Yeah, Carmelo.
Why do you say that got him out the league?
Houston.
Yeah,
he
but
accepted the role, but I mean, I know D'Antoni got back at him. It was D'Antoni getting back at him for what he did to him, but
right.
It's all narrative, and that's what I said. It's all narrative, and that was his narrative at the time. It was like that he didn't want to come off the bench.
He got off to a really bad, like 10 or 15 game start with Houston, and then next thing you know,
It
the
was
guy
like
was
9
off the
games.
team.
They benched him.
Yeah,
they told him not
Come
to come
on,
back.
you're
another
Carmelo
game.
Anthony. You're a future Hall of Famer, and you're telling me I'm not allowed to get off to a 9-game slow start? Really? We talk all the time about how Westbrook is known as being a slow starter, and I'm Carmelo Anthony, and y'all gonna hate on me because I get off to a slow 9-game start? That's why Houston didn't win a championship that year. Unbelievable, man.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Carmelo. Yeah. Oh no, not Carmelo. Yeah. John Wall goes to LA Lakers, but turn that team around. Him coming off the bench and being the scorer, the assist maker off the bench. But yeah, Carmelo needs to start. That's a given. Carmelo's too good of a player to be coming off the bench. He needs to be in that starting lineup at the 4 with Davis and LeBron, and that team would be a dominant team with him as a starter.
And I don't even care who you got to take out the lineup. I noticed the guy Horton Tucker, he starts. Avery Bradley starts.
Really good. That Horton Tucker is really, really good.
I didn't say he wasn't. Don't mean he got to start.
But I probably would bring him off the bench too for Carmelo and just see how.
Yeah,
I mean, we're early enough in the season to see how it will work. Like just to see how it will work. So,
right.
But let's get to Blake Griffin. I mean, I got 2 spots for Blake.
Blake Griffin, oh boy.
I got 2 spots, and he might not lock these spots, but I got 2 spots. Like he might not like them, but Houston and OKC, go enjoy yourself, man. Rest, vacation, chill out. Go play with the youngins, be that veteran in the locker room, the veteran boys, nigga, sit your ass on the bench and don't jump no more. You ain't got to dunk no more. You got to worry about it, Blake. You ain't got to worry about it. Just go rest. Go to vacation land. That's what we call that, vacation land. Go play with the youngins. Go see how the hot girls looking over there.
Yeah, Blake, I don't know what to say, Blake. The fact that your entire career was based on your athleticism and how high you could jump, the fact that you can't do that no more. Now, a lot of players, even LeBron is not the same player he used to be athletically, but guess what LeBron did do? He earned himself a jump shot. He worked on it. LeBron shoots more threes than he ever shot in his career, and he's actually hitting them at a high rate. Blake Griffin is in the later stages of his career and can't do the things he used to do, but he can't make a jump shot, man. And you're undersized power forward at that. So, I mean, like, who's that?
LaMarcus
Aldridge can make a jump shot. Absolutely. But Blake Griffin can't.
He's coming back from blood clots.
And exactly. So, Blake, man, I'm being honest with you, man. The fact that you haven't developed a jump shot, the fact that you can't jump the way you used to, and the fact that you're a little undersized, I mean, dang, bro. You're about the same height, I would say, probably around, or maybe even a little bit taller than PJ Tucker. At least PJ Tucker can hit an open 3 from the corner when it's given to him. I'm a Nets fan. I've watched you all last season with the Nets. I watched you this season with the Nets. They put you in the doggone starting lineup. You don't look good. You can't make a jump shot. The best thing you got going for you is the fact that now you wear this little hard hat thing and you bring your lunch pail to work and you take a lot of charges. That's your big thing now. You lead the NBA in taking charges. Okay, that's cool. But can I get a little offense? Can I get some rebounds? Can you dunk it once in a while? I mean, so I'll be honest with you. The best fit for Blake Griffin might be the couch. Just being honest.
I got one right here for you.
That might be the couch, bro. Unfortunately. Listen, and it's nothing to hang your head on. Okay, you earned a ton of money. You were a superstar in this league, slam dunk champion, Lob City. But listen, the game is past you, man. The game is past you at this point right now. So, unless you just want to ride the bench and collect a paycheck, okay, cool. You wouldn't be the only one to do that.
That's true.
That's true. Blake Griffin going to the Thunder.
Tyler, not to cut you off, but we tell it like it is over here, okay? If you belong in the couch, you belong in the couch.
Oh, I know. I actually agree with that. No, Pete, I actually agree with that. Yeah, Blake Griffin, go retire, go sit on the couch and relax. Yeah, because he can't like he used to, like he did in LA. Yeah, he can't. Like, yeah, he has never been able to develop a jump shot, especially when he played for the Pistons. He wasn't hitting high jump shots at high rates. That's what he has never developed is a jump shot. And you got to have a jump shot when you're a tall guy. So, and Blake Griffin has not done that.
When he left the Pistons and he came over to the Nets, yes, he played vital minutes and did a lot and a good amount, especially with the injuries the Nets had last season from the time he came to the Nets to the end of the season. But I feel a lot of that was like, listen, I got a bad rep in the time I spent with Detroit. Everybody was talking about me saying I don't dunk no more, whatever it is. I'm joining a team with Kyrie, Kevin Durant, and James Harden. I got all this motivation and everything running through me. I'm ready to go. Okay, and he played like it. But now coming into this season, they throw him in a starting lineup based on how well he played with the Nets in that little playoff run that we had. And you just haven't looked good. And now you're not even part of the rotation. LaMarcus Aldridge takes your starting job. Where you can't even find your way back onto the roster. Claxton's now healthy. Paul Millsap is getting minutes. You got the guy James Johnson has been playing out of his mind. These are all guys that play power forward and center. I like James Johnson a lot, man. Big pickup for the Nets, man. Listen, he's played on 9 different teams, and every time I would watch a game where James Johnson was playing, he was in full warm-up sitting on the bench. And I'm always like, this guy never gets playing time. Why is he bouncing around from team to team? Well, guess what? Steve Nash put him in the lineup and he looks great. I mean, great. As a matter of fact, he started the other night when they gave Kevin Durant the night off. So I'm a big James Johnson fan. Big addition. Him and Patty Mills have been the 2 biggest additions, I think, this season that the Nets have added. Absolutely.
All right. So we're closing out the show now. Tyler, we like to end with final thoughts. So what are your final thoughts?
Final thoughts is hopefully Damian Lillard can potentially win a NBA title with a team that's probably going to have superstars. But yeah, so hopefully.
Now, do you mean that in a trade this season, or you mean next year, wherever he goes?
Wherever he goes, maybe this year. Maybe hopefully they do trade him this year. Not then trade him in the offseason so he could go play with a contender and hopefully win a title. That would make his career.
Final thoughts, Pete.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to my opening message a little bit, man. We're gonna be locked in on the football this weekend, as we always are. But if you find some time, sneak in the Rutgers Seton Hall men's college basketball game. With the 2 big upsets that they had last night, this is for New Jersey bragging rights, okay? Watch this game. I'm a big Rutgers fan, so I'm rooting for Rutgers. Seton Hall is actually the nationally ranked team, so they're considered to be the better team. But you know what? Rutgers, you knocked off number 1 Purdue last night. Why can't you knock off number 24 Seton Hall on Sunday? So Sunday, December 12th, 7:30 p.m. If you can even just set it so that you hit that little last button on your TV remote to go back and check in on that game. And it really, honestly, with that game starting at 7:30, that's a great time slot because you'll have a little bit of a break after the 4 o'clock games go off until that Sunday night football game starts right around 8:30. So you can actually probably catch maybe the first half of that game without even having to switch back and forth from station to station. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm not like the biggest college sports fan, but when the right games and the right matchups come up, whether it's football or basketball, I'm locked in. And with the Rutgers pulling the big upset yesterday against number 1 ranked Purdue, and with Seton Hall pulling the big upset against number 7 Texas yesterday, and the fact that their very next game is against each other on Sunday in the state of New Jersey. New Jersey represent. Let's go Rutgers.
Let's go. All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of From the Sideline podcast. We want to thank you again, Tyler, for showing up and giving us your time today. Great episode. Thank you for coming, man. We appreciate it. Yeah, Pete, we got another one in the books, man.
Another one in the books,
man. We're going to send you guys off, man. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, all links down below. All of it. All right. You can check Pete out on his Facebook page. You can check out my Instagram page. We'll have Tyler links down below. Yeah, and that's the episode, man. We're going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace.